Hello students, welcome all of you. Welcome to another video of student giving his quiz. This is part of we Unacademy teachers helping students to improve their confidence in handling their confidence with the subject. It is to see whether the student is conceptually learning or simply by hearting and going to the gate exam. तो हमने कुछ ऐसे क्वेश्चंस पूछा या हम पूछने जा रहे हैं भी जिसमें स्टूडेंट को काफी सोचने की जरूरत पड़ती है, उसकी कॉन्सेप्ट, उसकी सोचने का तरीका दोनों का टेस्ट किया जाता है. So we have with us Vamshi, a student from Warangal, from Kids Warangal, and he's also a plus subscriber following us for the last few months. So Unacademy Plus always there with your students. So Vamshi, tell us about yourself briefly.
Yes, sir. My name is Vamshi Merigu, sir. I am presently in my fourth year of my graduation, and I am from a private college named Kakatiya Institute of Technology and Science. I am from electronics background, sir. I have joined an academy in the month of June, and it really helped me a lot in strengthening my concepts in the core concepts of electronics. And it really, and all the courses like practice courses, theory courses, crash courses, everything helped me in moving ahead in my gate preparation and building confidence. And this is about me.
So you choose signals and systems as your favorite subject to go ahead with, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. And
sure you are a student of Vishnu sir. Hopefully you should have surely
Yeah,
read
yes,
it from
sir.
Vishnu sir, obviously signals and systems. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
my first question to you, my first question for you,
Yes.
got your pen and paper ready, right?
1 minute.
Yeah, get your pen and paper ready. If you have a signal in time domain as x of t, you have a signal in time domain as x of t, its
Yes,
Fourier
sir.
transform is x of s.
Yes, sir.
What is the Fourier transform of the signal which is obtained by doing differentiation of this in time? What could be the
Minus
Fourier
S.
series? Yeah,
1 second.
slowly, relax, don't be in a hurry, don't be nervous. Nobody is going to scold you or anything. Just relax. If you got time, relax. What is the Fourier transform of a signal? Laplace transform of a signal?
S into X. S into X of S.
Okay. If it is Fourier transform, and if it is x of
J
omega,
J omega into X of omega. J omega.
Okay. You by hearted this formula that it is just j omega into x of s, or is there any logic behind it? But congrats, first question is right from your side. So you have cleared
No,
the.
sir. I have. Thank you. I have not by hearted the formula, sir. I have gone through its proof, sir.
Yeah.
And if you want, I can go through its proof.
Okay.
I have learned from the academy.
Okay. You have gone through its proof sufficiently. Right. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, see, when you're differentiating rate of change with time, what is rate of change with time? Frequency.
Yeah.
Rate of change with time is frequency. So if you are finding out the rate of change of this with the time, it's nothing but frequency. So you have multiplied with omega there. So nothing more than that. Very good.
Yes, sir.
So first question you crossed. 4 more questions. The quiz is very simple. If you answer all the 5 questions, you'll get a prize accordingly. But first 3 questions, if they're wrong, you'll be eliminated.
Okay.
So first question you cleared, so you'll go up to the 5 questions level, right? So congrats, you'll be going up to the 5 questions level. Second, second question from my side. Second question from my side is, if you have an rectangular pulse of tau p by 2 and minus tau p by 2. Can you tell me what is the approximate bandwidth of this pulse? You have a pulse of tau p duration.
In
What is
frequency
the
domain, sir.
approximate bandwidth of this pulse in the frequency domain? Obviously, bandwidth is a frequency domain aspect.
Yes, sir. TP by 2, sir.
Pardon?
TP by 2, sir.
Bandwidth.
TP, sir. Sorry, I'm mistaken. TP.
No. It's duration. It's duration.
Duration is
tau
sorry,
p.
sir. Sorry. One more.
I
Okay,
want its
sir.
bandwidth.
Rectangle T
Need to
by TP is the signal X of T. Rectangle T by TP is a signal, and its frequency domain will be T in TP into sync of FTP.
tau p.
One minute,
whatever you
sir.
call it. No, relax, Vamshi, relax.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So Vishnu sir will be very proud of you. Signals and systems expert.
2 by TP, sir. Answer.
2 by. Are you telling it in hertz, or are you telling it in? Are you telling it
Hertz,
in hertz?
hertz, sir.
Hertz.
Yes, sir. I'm telling it in hertz.
Okay. What could be your explanation? How did you approach it? Approximately, can you tell me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Approximately,
Yes,
can you tell me how did
sir,
you approach?
Here. Yes, sir. Here the signal is rectangle of T by TP, sir.
Yes.
When we find its transform, we get TP into sync of FTP, sir.
Right.
Are you so? As we are considering only approximate bandwidth, we should see where the wave touches the x-axis for the first time. It will
Very
be
good.
as
You
you
are
are marked
talking
the
the
point.
first zero crossings.
First zero crossings. The points are 2 by TP. The
This
points
point.
2 by TP minus 2 by TP. 2 by TP.
Tau p.
Minus 2 by tau p.
Okay.
So the bandwidth will be 0 to 2 by TP, which is 2 by TP.
Okay. So you're taking the bandwidth of the frequencies only on the positive side. Fine. That's
Yes,
also
sir.
fine. Are you sure it's 2 by tau p? Because
if you consider left region, it will be 4 by TP. No, sir.
if you express it in f of omega, can you tell me?
Okay, sir.
Just tell me its Fourier transform in f of omega.
Simply replace f with omega by 2 pi, sir. On replacing f with omega by 2 pi, you can get it in omega domain.
Okay. So you're sure it's 2 by tau p?
Hertz.
Hertz. Okay. Fine. You told it in hertz, right? It's okay. Fine. So I can give you this second question also as right. Anyhow, you took the reciprocal of it. So this is also right. But your logic, I'm able to appreciate it. I like your logic. That when I asked you bandwidth of a pulse signal, you could understand that its Fourier transform is a sinc function or sin C function. And you could understand that the frequencies that encapsulate it majorly lie from 0 to the first crossing.
Yes, sir.
They lie from 0 to the first crossing. That's a very good logic. But cross-check the first crossing once again. First crossing value, cross-check it. Fine, but still cross-check it. Otherwise, your logic is very good. That the bandwidth is anything from 0 to the first crossing. And the first crossing in frequency, you're saying 2 by tau p, but you can cross
2
check
pi
it.
by 2p.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
You're missing pi or
2
something,
pi by
right? That's
tp.
what, exactly. That's what I was
Yeah.
expecting. Very good, students.
Sorry.
Very good.
Yes.
In the exam, if
Thank
you don't do such mistakes, it's much better. Otherwise, it's good. See, this is not a test of your actual exam, or I'm not troubling you with your accuracy of the answer. This Zoom call, this analysis is all to see whether student knows conceptuality approach or not. देखिए, हमने एक स्टूडेंट को पूछा कि इस सिग्नल को ट्रांसफर करने की बैंडविड्थ कितनी चाहिए, तो उसने तुरंत उस सिग्नल का फ्रीक्वेंसी डोमेन में एनालिसिस किया. And in that frequency domain analysis, he showed very clearly that the bandwidth is coming to be 0 to the first crossing. Perfect analysis, student. Perfect analysis. Very good. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's get back to the third question.
Yes, sir.
It's not exactly concerned with signals and systems, but I'm sure you should be able to handle this with your signals and systems knowledge, close to signals and systems.
Okay, sir.
That is, look at this question very carefully now.
Okay.
You have an LC circuit, and this LC circuit is being given with a pulse of a tau duration,
Okay.
with tau being very, very small in microseconds. And it's a 5-volt pulse. What is the steady state output from the circuit? You give a pulse of 5 volts of tau duration for a very short duration and release the pulse. What is the expected steady state output?
It will be a sinusoidal pulse, sir.
Sinusoidal?
The response means the current which will be flowing will be sinusoidal one, sir.
Ideally sinusoidal.
Yes, sir. Ideally sinusoidal.
Continuous. So this was a short discrete pulse. You will get a continuous sine wave. Any justification for it?
Undamped sine wave.
Undamped because
There
there's
is no
no resistance. So continuous sine wave. Any justification for it?
Yes, sir. I have taken the means I have transformed this. I have replaced this inductor with it's a Fourier. It's a Laplace transform, sir, SL, and capacitor with 1 by SC, and I have found out the effective impedance across it, which will be SL into 1 by SC by SL plus 1 by SC. So which comes out to be L by C by S into L by C by S square LC plus 1.
Okay.
Which is the impedance Z. Here we have applied a voltage which is almost equal to impulse signal, means del of phi del of t, and I have again found its Laplace transform, which will be equal to V of H is equal to phi.
Just a minute. Okay, good. Fine.
So now the current will be V by I is equal to.
So you solved its transfer function essentially.
Yeah, yes, sir. I have solved
Beautiful.
its transfer function and got it as a sign.
Beautiful. Very good. Excellent. But I feel you can do it more simple like this. You had a signal f of t whose Fourier transform is 1 because it was a very short pulse.
Yes.
So short pulse will have a Fourier transform which is complete in all frequencies.
Yes, sir.
It will select its natural frequency because it's in resonance.
Resonance, yes, sir. Yeah. I
And it
thought
will
of
give you
using
that frequency omega, which is 1 by root LC,
root LC.
and discard all other
Continuous.
frequencies.
Yes, sir.
It will select its frequency and remove all other frequencies, because you're
I give the
giving
chorus
all the
connection.
frequencies in the world.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful students. Right. Can you tell me fourth question? So you've done three questions, right? So fourth and fifth, I'll make it really easy for you. What is the difference between DFT and Z transform?
DFT
Discrete
and
Fourier
Z
transform and Z transform. What is the difference?
Sir, if we can, sir, discrete the transform is calculated for the entire real axis, sir. But this DFT is calculated only for unit circle, sir, of radius 1 for all frequencies which are having a radius of 1.
Can you elaborate more?
Yeah, sir.
Now, which sort of signal you use DFT, and which sort of signal is Z transform preferred? Because see, both are ultimately for discrete signals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Both are for discrete signals, right? So your X of t becomes X of n. So where do you think a DFT, discrete Fourier transform, is preferred, and where is Z transform preferred?
Sir, when the signal is not absolutely integrable, then we choose Z transform, so that we choose a range of Z, means by taking a proper ROC to make the function x of n into Z, mod of x of n into Z power minus 1 to be the sum of the Z transform as n tends to infinity to make its amplitude 0. So we choose a such Z, means we choose such ROC so that the converges, the series converges. And if it is a non-absolute integrable signal, we use the transform. If it is absolute integrable signal, then we can use DFT.
So you're talking about the integrability of the signal as the criteria for choosing DFT and FFT, DFT and Z transform.
It is one of the criteria.
One of the
criteria. One of the criteria.
I can't give completely full marks for this, but good try.
Periodicity is also one of the criteria.
Yeah, it's a good try, a really good try. Surely I'll consider half marks for this, because see, when you talk of DFT and Z transforms, obviously they have two different logics to handle. They're two different set of transformation techniques. Fine, but one last and easiest question for you. Where exactly is sampling theorem applicable in communications? Why do we use sampling theorem or sampling that you learn in signals and systems in communications?
Because for easy transmission of data, sir. Because for moving a signal from one receiver to antenna, we require a carrier, sir. So this carrier consists of a frequency, and if you convert a continuous signal into we can convert a continuous signal into discrete time signal, then we can easily find its frequency components which are present in it. By having an idea about the different types of frequency components present in it, we can manipulate our carrier so that we can easily get transform it from receiver to antenna.
You've been close. One point I liked about you is it's to convert a continuous signal into discrete signal.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thereafter, you again said manipulate and all those things. Can you elaborate that?
Yes, sir.
But one thing, sure, whatever your answer is, your confidence and the concepts that you're putting is awesome. So I'll give you complete full marks for all the 5 questions. Even this question also I'll give you full marks. So you have won the full prize. But can you elaborate once again, where is sampling used exactly in communications? Yeah, converting continuous into discrete is no doubt. That's one thing. Anything else?
So give me 1 minute, sir. to convert an analog signal into digital signals.
That is a major thing. That's sufficient, in fact. To convert an analog signal into digital signal, we have to go for sampling. So that instead of sending that entire, voltage values, you send it only in those discrete values at discrete times. And moreover, you send symbols after quantizing it. So you're converting an analog signal into symbols of discrete times by quantizing and sampling. So I just don't expect anything from you. You can simply say that it's used to convert. It's a first step in converting a continuous signal into discrete signal. Then why do we use Nyquist sampling then? Nyquist sampling is to see that you are not losing the information in the process. The sample should be close enough that you don't lose the data. Neither the sampling should be too far away, nor it should be too close. If the samples are very close, you are unwantedly collecting more samples than needed. If the samples are very far away, you may lose some information in between. So depending on the rate of variations of the signal, you have to collect your samples. So depending on what rate your signal is varying, you have to collect your samples. Is the signal varying like this? Or is it varying like this? Accordingly, you have to collect your samples. Beautiful, excellent presentation, excellent concepts. Congrats, you won the complete prize, and you'll shortly get it. And this will be relayed in YouTube. You don't mind, right?
I don't. Thank you for your support, sir. I'm very much glad. I did not expect it. Very much glad for your.
Thank you. So we'll have more such sessions. Feel free. Any student having any such necessity of having such sessions, feel free. So thank you all of your subscribers. Do like, share our channel, Unacademy Flux. And any students having problems also will have a one-to-one guidance and counseling. Or if you're confident like Vamshi to handle questions, we'll also give you a chance to handle questions. So see you students. Take care. Bye.